G'day folks, my name is Thomas Riley Poole and today I'm going to be doing another portrait painting. I'm doing a portrait of my wonderful girlfriend Emma. I was just flicking through the phone to find a subject to paint and the only photos I have are of her, so I'm going to do another one, but that's alright, she's a beautiful subject to paint anyway, so it's no worries at all. Yeah, I used to do a lot of paintings from the mind, but I just feel like I prefer to go from a subject and try to copy it, but copy it in my own way, impersonate it, but with a little bit of differences. I know I've said that in previous videos, and I don't know, I guess I just really love that, copying a photo, but I think what I love is looking at a painting and finding it really abstract, but you're still able to notice what it is, and still able to see, oh yeah, like, I can see that. Oh, yeah, I've always loved that about painting. So that's what I'm going to try to do today, of the subject, and try and make it as quick. I'm going to do it as quick as possible and get it flowing and lots of colours and block paint on everywhere, and try and make it as abstract as I can. Mainly most of my paintings are abstract, so I don't feel I'm going to have any problems with that. But yeah, it's a winter's day out here, so that's why I'm a bit rubbed up. Well, I'm starting to feel the heat a bit now though, but it's much cooler in the shade, and we are painting in the shade right now. So yeah, I've located a spot on this wall because I now no longer have the studio anymore. The studio has renamed itself my bedroom again because I've moved back into here, so I've had to find a new spot. So I've taken off this family photograph. It was like a montage photograph. Got some newspaper on the wall just so I don't mark it, even though if I do mark it you can always just paint over it, it's no biggie. And then I've popped the canvas on the hook, but let's not take that off because I've just realised that I taped the canvas to the newspaper as well, so I forgot about that. And so that means if this canvas falls off the hook, it's going to take all the newspaper along with it, so that will be interesting if that happens throughout this painting. Hopefully not, but who knows. Alright, well there's not much else I can say, so let's just get stuck into it. Oh, I do have to, well not have to, but I can tell you that I'm going to be painting with paintbrushes as well as the palette knife, so I'm going to be going to and from the tools, seeing what I can make of this thing. Alright, so that's about it. That's all I can say. Alright, well, let's get stuck into it. And your nose. I'm also going to be painting with acrylic as well, so I mainly always paint with acrylic. I find it a lot easier to work with. Alright. Okay, if you can still see me, I'm going to give it a little sketch because it's always really helpful to sketch up an actual picture, so I know where I can put the colours in between these lines and so on. So there's a word for, I'm just trying to figure out what it is. Compose a picture. Yes, that's the word. So I'm going to do a little sketch with a pen, most likely. Could sketch this new ink that I got, but I remember last time I used that, the ink showed through the paint, and I don't really want to mess around with that, but we'll see how we go. I'm just going to go look for something. Okay, so here's this ink. Yeah, just checking if it's still recording. Alright, so here's this ink. When the last time I used this, some of the paint, the ink showed through some of the paint, so I might just give it a sketch with this ballpoint pen and to compose a picture and see what I'm doing. Ready. So I'm just looking at the photograph trying to figure out how the thing looks. Just trying to figure out how I'm doing this nose. Okay, see, I'm already going too big. I need to change it up a bit. I think I'm just going to be real quick and loose. It's a good thing you can't see a sketch right now because they ain't looking too good. I can tell you that much. No, that much only. That's right. Keep working with paint. Eventually go good. No, I think I might sketch with that pen. I mean, not the pen, that ink. As dangerous as it is. And let's get the photo up. Oh man, this is dangerous. Alright, that's good. Let's add some colours to this thing now. Yeah, let me get my palette board. I gotta get a palette board so I can mix stuff. Okay. I've got a palette board. It's not very clean, so I'm going to try to pick the cleaner side, which I believe is let's go this side. I'm just going to put this up. No, they were pretty dirty. They're very unclean, but for some reason I just feel this is dark. Dark side. I guess you can make it light. You know, yeah, well, I'll go this side. Okay. That's what I'm going to mix my stuff up on. Let's get straight to that. Okay. Let's see. Paintbrush. It's my new favourite paintbrush right now. I've been using it in every painting that I've been doing with a paintbrush recently. And I don't know, I like it because it's small. No reason it's small because it's been snapped, but I don't think that was ever me who snapped that. Maybe. I don't know where I got this from. But anyway, it's easy to use, just like using a pen. It's just like sketching, but you got a brush on the end instead of ink. Pen. Alright, anyway, enough my blabbering on. Let's get this show on the road. Just picking out some colours I feel I may be using. A pink here. I love this stuff, by the way. This is great. I just go to Kmart, get my paint. Does the justice just well. It does the justice just well. Bit of a tongue twister, that one. Purple. Maybe. I'll just leave that there anyway. White, yeah. Bit of a dirty white, but oh well. I feel like you can do something with that. Can't really have that colour here. Do I have a brown? And then here's in this bag, my bum bag. This is where I got the good paints. I got the, how do you pronounce this word? I think it Montmartre, Ontimart, or Montmartre. Anyway, I got these paints. These are alright. These go pretty good. Pretty cheap. Fairly reasonable priced. What colour was I looking for? Bit of a brownie, hey. We got the burnt sienna. That's always a good brown to use. That's acrylic, yeah. Burnt sienna in a different form. Oh, this one I just got to add that. This isn't the Montmartre. This is starter set, so that's good for me. Okay, well I'll just leave this off to the side. If I need something, I can just grab it. Burnt umber. That seems like a good brown to use. There's a lot of brown in this photo because in this general area down here, Emma's actually wearing a scarf, brown scarf. Turtleneck, which is black here. And she's holding a tea that she's made. And behind her is the fireplace, and that's mainly black. So a lot of dark colours in this painting. A lot of dark colours. Flesh tint, that's going to be very useful. Flesh tint and the red. Brilliant red. Might have to mix that one a little bit because I don't want it too red. I still want it a bit of a skin tone red. Okay, well I feel like I've got my paints and let's see what we can do. If I ever need more paints, they're right there beside me or behind me. It's always a bit difficult starting over painting, I feel. It's really bright down in this section. Let me just get the pen and I'll make a line where I know it's bright. Okay, let's just get into it. Not mucking around. Let's start with this skin tone. Alright, this is where I'm going to need some tissues because I don't want to get black everywhere. Okay. Probably should get paper towels instead of tissues if that's not strong enough. Yep, that seems about right. Oops. Okay, I'm gonna go and get some paper towels because I need that. Okay, hopefully I got enough. I'm sure this will be enough. There's only one way to find out, and that's to push on forward. Alright, let me clean this, pop this down, clean this brush, make some more room. And I'm going to fiddle around with the hair a bit more because it needs to come out a bit. I'm just going to clean up this brush again. You don't really need to. I feel like you only need to clean the brush when it's got black on it, because I do like getting unwanted colours around the whole canvas, and just makes it a bit different, if you know what I mean. Okay. Just filling those gaps. I guess I could do the eyes now. Work a bit on the eyes. Yeah. The eyes. The eyes. Blue. Not that blue. Dark blue. Dark blue. Oh, they're green, aren't they? And there's green eyes. So yeah, every time I put eyes on those, look like they're going insane. Let me just get a smaller brush for this. Alright, let me clean up that tear she has. She's not crying. Okay, so now I'm just getting the shading in. I know there's a lot of shade on the forehead and on this side of the face. So I'm just getting that in. Alright, good day folks. I'm back again. It's been a couple of days since I last filmed, and that is because when I last filmed the camera kept running out of battery, so I had the charger up and by the time I was finished charging, the sun had already set over the mountains across the water from here, so the room was getting too dark and I wouldn't have been able to film anymore, but it's alright, I'm back here again. I'm ready to finish her off today. I'm gonna start off with the fireplace, and I'm not sure if you know what's down here, but she's actually holding a jug of tea, so I'm gonna get this jug in, and it's 4 of her fingers holding it, and then obviously the scarf, and then we've got the scarf to finish off, but not too much else to say other than that, so what I can do now is get straight stuck into it and see if we can finish this thing off today. Alright, no worries. Alrighty folks, let's just get straight into it. I've said it once before, I'll say it again, it's always hard to get into it, but once you start painting, you start getting a hang of it and start flowing a bit better. But I know me personally, I never like to stop halfway through a painting, because you lose your momentum and paint dries up and it's not so easy to work with. But it's alright, we're gonna try our best and see if we can still make this thing as good as it was going to be intentionally. That's the thing, like, with what I was saying, I'm not too fond of stopping halfway through a painting, because it may, I'm not too sure, but it may not have looked the way it was going to look, because you're not in that zone again, and you have to get into the zone, the mojo. But that's alright. I'm sure we can still make this thing as beautiful as it was always going to be, as we're always intentionally going to make it. That's right. It's just when it's dry, it's harder to work with because, you know, it's dry and you don't get the wet paint feel anymore, and you can't really mix it. But you know, you just got to keep working at it, and keep working at it until you're happy with how it looks at the end, and that's the main thing. So I'm gonna start out on the fireplace and just get that finished off. So yeah, so this is a fireplace. If you don't know, I'm sure most of you wouldn't have known because I didn't really draw a fireplace, just did a couple black lines. So that's actually a fireplace that was mostly black and then grey. So I guess we can just work with that right now, right off the back, and then deal with that later, and then fix up the face a bit later on as well, because it still needs some work on the face. Still needs some work on the eyes, because I know around the eyes is black and it may look like eyeliner, but in the actual reference photo there is no eyeliner. It's just, I don't know why I did that, but I just have to get some more skin tone around the eye, fix up a bit, maybe move this eye a bit upper, a bit more up, because I know it's not very evened out. Still need some more work on the nose. That's the thing. I've never been the best with painting noses, as I've said before in previous videos, but I'm really liking how it's looking right now, so hopefully me working on it isn't gonna ruin it. But as I said before, it's got to keep working at it so it looks good, and that's all we can do. Alright, well, I'll get onto that fireplace now and see what we can do with that. And I was thinking I might use the palette knife for fireplace, just to give it that nice texture. I've always loved the textures with the palette knife. So let me dig around here and get a nice one out. Got plenty of palette knives to choose from, but I feel this round square nose one is going to be the best to play with. And I'm sure you can see that I never clean my palette knives, which isn't too great, but I might give it a little scrape now. Give it a little scrape with another palette knife. That actually might also be useful to use as well. Another, not round square nose, but square nose. Alright, let me just clean that up a little bit. You know what? Might not clean it, I might just go straight for it. I don't really, well, I do have the time, but that's the thing, whenever I'm done with a painting I always just leave my stuff. I never actually clean it. I need to start learning to clean my tools before they dry up. And I want to have to deal with this later when I'm on to a new painting. But anyway, I'll let future Tom worry about that one, and I'll just get straight into it. Alright, so we're going to need black. We're going to need some white, so we can make the black a bit grey as well for when we need those grey sections. I have a reference photo here that you may saw a glimpse of before I started this painting. When I was editing the video. Yeah. Alright. Just bear with me one moment, I have to fiddle around with this so the screen won't keep going blank on me, keep going black, shutting down. Okay, here we go. Alright. That's right. When the painting's done, I'll do the comparison with the reference photo and the painting, so you can see how the reference photo looks compared to the painting, because I always believe that's a nice thing to look at, especially if someone's painting from a reference photo. You always want to see what the painting is meant to look like. So it's always nice to see the real picture and then the painting side by side or after one another. Get a little idea of what I was trying to paint. Okay, enough blabbering on. Let's start this fireplace. Okay, black. Got my little mixing board down here. I'm using the palette knives for this, so I don't need the paintbrushes right now. Put that down there. It's going to be really interesting fiddling around with this tea mug, because I've never painted or even drawn glass before, because it's a glass mug. That's going to be very interesting. Hopefully it goes around. Let's jump on the other side for a second. I have to play around with the hair again so it doesn't look so odd with the black right next to it, I feel. But that's alright. I won't overwork it this time like I did the last portrait I did on Emma. I'm going to take off a lot of paint as well, just so you get those really unique scratches. I was a big fan of that. I think that looks really nice. This reference photo again. Okay. I'm just seeing there's actually a shoulder here. Might try to draw that in a little bit. That is where it is, yeah. Okay. Yeah, get that high. Might even have to let the black dry up a bit, because I know I'm going to start working on this and I don't want to mix in black, but we'll see how it goes. Might not even have to. I'm just trying to draw where I want the shoulder to go. Hang on 1 second. No, it doesn't need to go down there. Remember, this doesn't really have to be too clean, because we are still going for that abstract feel. Let's do a very abstract painting, so we can be as messy as we want, which is what I love. So let's just get these greys in and then work around the black bit later on. Sorry, the camera blanked out. I'm not sure if you heard me, but I was just saying I might tone down the black a bit later on. I mean, sorry, not the black, the grey a bit later on. I just wanted to block it in, just so it's in there. Because it's not that greyish in the reference photo. I guess we can turn it down a little bit. And you can get bits of greys on the black because maybe not that much, but because it's a fireplace, it's not completely black. There are reflections, but vague reflections, very blurry. So I guess that could almost be that. And that's actually looking to that. It's very foggy because it's been, the fireplaces had a lot of fires, so it's got to have that effect that makes it look like it's been used 1,000 times, which it has. And I'll clean up edges a bit later on. But for now, I think we can work on a bit more. Let's try to figure out what I can work on. Guess we can work on a bit of the scarf, the brown scarf down here, because the hair is going to be going over the scarf, so I can block a bit of the scarf in and then redo a bit of the hair down at the bottom. Okay, so I'll be done with that palette knife for now. We'll work a bit on this brown scarf, which is, it's going to be interesting because we got such brown hair. I'm not gonna let me inform you that the hair is very light. It's a light brown, and the scarf is much darker, but it still resembles the same kind of color. So I'm gonna have to try and make a way where you can see the difference between what's meant to be hair and what's meant to be scarf. So that's going to be interesting to work with, but we'll see what we can do. And what we can do in the way of knowledge is not much, but I guess we can just have fun with it and see what we can do with that. The knowledge. And just see what we can do with experience. That's what it always is, isn't it? You don't know what to do unless you do it. So I guess we just gotta go for it and give it a go. And just see what type of colour that is. No, don't need that. Much darker. I believe this may be a good colour. That's a funny thing because this scarf, it is in the shade and it is not. So in the scarf, just like the hair, there's going to be dark bits and there's going to be light bits. Work with it. I was just thinking, what if I'd used palette knife with the scarf, and that way you can really tell the difference between what's meant to be a scarf and not. I think that might be quite interesting. And on the scarf there are details. It's got the scarf does have some patterns where the scarf's got a type of design on it. The pattern design, and that's with black. But I'm sure we could do that with the palette knife also. Yeah, I'm going to give that a go actually. I'm going to try to do the scarf with the palette knife. I might have to clean the palette knife because it's got all black over it. Unless that might not be an issue. Let's scrape it off a bit. Alrighty, I'm back. Sorry about that, folks. I just had to charge up the camera because it kept running out again. But so what was I up to? I was going to mix a brown for this scarf, wasn't I? And that reminds me, since the camera ran out of battery again, I forgot to tell you when the camera ran out of battery the other day, I managed just to block in some shading around the face, and I don't think the camera captured all of that. I know the camera captured a bit around the eyes, but it didn't capture the rest of the shading. So yeah, that's what I was doing after the camera shut off, just for a couple minutes or so, and then I just gave it a break and went on to something else. But so alright, well, I guess we got to make up this brown for the scarf. So let's see what we can do here. Nice brown for the scarf. It's got to be real dark, and there's also got to be light sections. And we're going to do it with the palette knife, aren't we? Okay, so from what I can remember, I believe you need some yellow and some red. Go ahead and pop it down over here. I don't know how much we're going to need, and whenever I mix, I always tend to mix an excessive amount of the colour I need, but that's alright. Let's see what this makes here. Yellow, red. That makes orange. And what was it? The blue. Let's see what blue can do. Let's see what blue can do. Okay. Red that makes purple, doesn't it? I think we just add more yellow. Now bring that back up again. There we go. You can see that I'm green. Well, I'm not a clean painter, that's for sure. I wonder if that's a good colour. Seems alright, to be honest. Let's see if we can use that to start off with. fiddling around with the scarf. Seems a lot better. Liking that colour a whole lot. And the last one we're trying to use. Like I said, I'm going to have to put in the hair a bit later on again. So we're just going to go over this section of the hair. It's a lot darker around here. And there's actually a knee comes up along here. I don't know if I'll put that in. May look a bit odd. But we'll see. Can always just pop that in later. It's the thing with painting. You can do whatever you want with it. If I really wanted to, I could put eyes down here by the cheek. It's however you want the painting to look. Okay. So I just got carried away playing with this scarf. It's not entirely how it looks in the reference photo, but that's alright. Because this makes it a bit more interesting. No, I don't want that. And I've destroyed my my brown on the board. You can't see right now, but it's very blue because I guess that's what you can do with browns. You can eventually ruin it. And like I was saying before, I'm not the cleanest painter, so everything's a bit messy and all that, Monjay. But that's right. Pop this in. But I am happy how the scarf looks. Alright, I'm moving on. They're clean. Alright, now while I was away when the camera was charging, I managed to get myself a pen so I can sketch up where this tea mug is meant to go. So I can fill in the black around it and actually get an idea. Does this pen work? Yes, it does. Where's it going to go here? Alright. I guess what we can do now is just go for it. Hope for the best. Alright, I'm going to try to give this a whirl. Paint brushes. using hair colours. Okay. Okay, I think that's enough fun with the hair for now. I do know there is one section I want to fix with the hair. Just get the towel out. Now I know the hair has gone through dramatic changes, but that's right. That's just what you have to go through with painting. You have to change things to suit other things that are going in. Fix up this forehead because I know some of the shading has gone onto the hair right now. I might even work in the hair a bit more later on. I know sometimes that's always a big mistake, but as famous Bob Ross used to always say, happy mistakes. Happy mistakes. Alright. Guess we can work on coffee mug. Sorry, not coffee mug. I might even work on the scarf a bit more. Different brown. Yeah, tea mug. Okay, I'll do that. Okay. Yeah, so I was going to go back to what I was doing before and just make it real abstract and just quick movements and get it done. That's a no colour there, it's right there. Yeah, not gonna lie, this team mug is quite difficult and hard to do. But I'm gonna keep at it, keep working it, see what I can do here. gonna step back and have a look at it. Okay. Okay, this mug is starting to improve a little bit. I think the camera just shut off when I was doing this section, but I'm going to film in on the, sorry I keep saying coffee mug, the tea mug, and I'll let you in on what's happening. Alrighty, I'm back again. Sorry folks, you may not know, but the camera kept turning off again due to low battery. I really need to find a new battery pack or just buy multiple battery packs so I can have them on standby for when this happens again. But while the camera was off, I managed to work the tea mug a little bit more, and I do remember before the camera turned off I was talking about the tea mug, and I was going to zoom in and talk about the tea mug for you folks because I was really happy with how it was looking. But when the camera ran out of battery, I was having a look at the tea mug and I wasn't too happy with how it was looking. So while the camera was off, I managed to work it a bit more, and I'm actually really happy with how it's looking right now. So I'm just going to zoom in because I think I might give today a bit of a break and work on it again tomorrow. Just let the whites dry up, and also the mug, because I'm really happy with how the mug is looking. So I want that just to dry before I start working on the fingers holding the mug. So yeah, so I feel today was a good day, and just gonna let everything dry and work on it again tomorrow. But I'll zoom in on the mug and let you folks in on what was going on. Alright, no worries. Alrighty, so here, let me just get a palette knife out so I can point to things for you. Oh, I'll just get it. So here we are. This is the mug. Before, when I was going to talk about it for you folks before the battery ran out, before the camera went out of battery, I didn't have the blue in, and it was much thinner, the mug. It was much thinner than what it is now. And I was happy with how it did look before, because I just did this little ridge, little dip in here, just so you can see that it's a 3D glass. That's what I was trying to go for. It was 3D, and then obviously the camera went out of battery. I had another long look at the mug and wasn't happy with it, so I worked it again, and I did smear some white down the side here just to give it a bit of reflection from the sun, and that was in the mug before I changed it up again. But yeah, so I was happy with how it was looking, and now what I added was the blue, because I do know glass does have a hint of blue in it, and I forgot that it had a hint of blue in it before, but I did remember, and I thought, oh, that's right, perfect, get some blue in there. So that's what I did. Add some blue across the lid here, and then the down part here, and then along the side, just to give that effect that it is what it is, which is a glass mug. And then I added some more blue tint here on the reflection as well as the white. So that is that for the mug, and I'm going to let that dry because I'm really happy with how it's looking, and I don't want to work on the fingertips and ruin how the mug looks. So I feel today is going to be it for today, and that shall be it. Alright, well, I'll pan out and let you have a better look at it. Okay, so yes, I'm gonna let it dry for now and get a better start on it tomorrow, or maybe in the next few days, depends what I'm doing. I don't really know what I'm doing tomorrow. May have work, but that's another story. But yeah, so I'm just gonna turn off the camera and let what I've done today dry, and I'll let it dry and work on it another day. I know I feel I might end up working the hair again once this section and the fingers and the rest of the shoulder, this white part is a shoulder if I haven't told you already. And I need to fill out a bit more gaps with hair down here, maybe more of the scarf, that's it. And yeah, so that's what I'm going to work on in the next few days. So obviously I'll film it, but for now I'm just going to let this dry. Alright, well that's all I have to say, so I guess I can work on it and I can work on it some more a bit later on. Alright, well, no worries. That's all I have to say now. Okay, catch you folks later in a couple of seconds, obviously. There's no signing off right now, so I'll just let this sit. Alright. No worries. Cheers. Alright, g'day folks. I'm back in action again and ready to finish this painting off today. Hopefully. Not too sure, you never know when you're going to finish the painting. Just like how I was saying yesterday, I'm going to finish this painting today, but nah. But that's alright, all we can do is get stuck into it and see if we can finish it or not. But the only way to be able to do that is to actually get a start on it. So I'm going to start off with, and I did talk about yesterday how happy I am with that's right, yesterday I kept calling it a glass mug, but in fact it's actually a jar because it used to have a screw off lid. So that's what this section is, it's the grooves to screw on the lid, so it is a jar. And Emma told me that yesterday afternoon because I was saying to her, I was like, is it a mug? She's looked at me all confused, like, it's a jar. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. So yeah, a glass jar, I was meaning to call it. So that's that. Scenario solved. But I'm just gonna black out this section right here. That's meant to be blacked out. Not meant to have so much of, because this white section here is in fact her shoulder. She's wearing a white jacket, a white fake fur jacket. It doesn't go across the whole thing, only goes across and halfway through the jar. I'm just going to go ahead and black this section out. Might even black out all of it and I can just add the white in a bit later. And I'm not too sure what, if you saw that I covered more of the black down here. I'm not too sure because I haven't looked over the footage, so I'm not sure if I told you that I just, in the reference photo it doesn't show that there's black down here, but I thought I might as well block it in. Most of the fingers cover this whole section here and you won't see any black, but I thought I'll just block it in just to get rid of the white canvas and get some colour in the background. But that's right, so that's what that is. You just get rid of some of this white that doesn't need to be there. Like so. happy with how this mug is looking. Bloody beautiful. I just had a look in the camera. I just had a look at the camera and I noticed I can't really see the black too well. It's just shining from the light. That's right. I am using a black. I'm just filling in this section right here. And I'm going to play around with the hair a bit more today as well. Because the hair does come down. One strand of hair does come down along here. And more hair comes down along here. And the scarf. I'm actually going to change up the scarf a bit. Because now, since the scarf is dried, it's really dark. And in the reference photo you can actually see that it's a scarf. And you can't really see that it's a scarf in the painting. And I really want to change that up a bit, so you do know exactly what it is. And I might get a bit of scarf up there, or more of the hair coming down here. Because in the reference photo it's not so dark in this section. So there's still a lot more I have to do. And that is alright, because I've got a full battery now. The camera's fully charged up. I'm not gonna lie, probably won't last too long though. Seeing how the last couple of days haven't lasted that too long. But we'll do what we can until the battery until the battery runs out of charge, and I'll charge it up and might even be able to record some more, depending on what the day looks like, if it's getting too late or not, or whatnot. Because I start filming at 12 o'clock, because that's where you get the best light in this room, and it still doesn't have the morning darkness. So right now it is 12. In fact it's 50 minutes past 12. That's pretty good. It took me some time to get set up. But it's alright. Don't really want to work on the fingers just yet, even though that might be an alright solution. Feel I want to work on the scarf again. But you know what? I might work a bit on the face. So I know the face needs a bit more work, and I haven't touched it since I started the painting. I need to get more shadings, and I do need to get some more darker tones in the shade, because there are parts in the forehead and below it. And that's right, I do need to change eye. I want to put the eye up a bit higher, even that bit, because I know this eye is drooping down, and I'm not too much of a fan of it. I'm not a fan, and I want to bring the eye up a bit more to make it normal. Figuring out the best way to do that, and I feel the best way to do that is to completely blank out the whole eye with the shaded out skin color and start fresh completely. And I know that is a big thing, because it's always a bit dodgy fiddling with the face. I don't want to ruin it, but I feel that's what I have to do to get it right. So I actually might even start that now, to be honest. Get it out of the way. And I just got to figure out how I got this colour again, this shaded out colour, and I believe it was a lot of pink, red, and a touch of black. That's how I always get my colours dark, is just add a touch of black, because I don't really know the professional way to do it, but I do it the way that suits me the most, and that is the way that suits me. Being a self-taught artist and all, do what makes me feel comfortable. Alright, I'm actually going to mix this and then use the paintbrush, because I've been using just dropped my palette now, because I've been using paintbrush on the face and the hair, and I want to keep that texture with the face and hair, and the rest of everything else has been done with the palette knife. So I'm just going to mix these colours, see if I can get a nice, it seems a bit purplish, dark skin tone. So alright, well, I'm going to film me mixing the colours so you can see me mixing it. Alrighty, cheers. Okay, I got a bit of pink there. Just going to grab a bit of red. Bit of red and a touch of black, from what I can remember. I'm not too sure if this was the technique I used when I was doing it, but I'll give it a go right now. Then use a bit more black. And I want to get the exact colour as it was before, because the paint on the face is all dried now. And if I get a really different colour on the dried paint, it might ruin the whole face, and that is exactly what I do not want to do. I might add a bit of skin tone to this. See how that looks if I mix that in. I'm not too sure how it's going to look, but let's have a look see. Makes it a bit lighter, which is good, because that was looking really dark before. I'm going to bring this up to the face and see if it's a similar colour. It's still really dark, but oh, here we can still mix some more. I've been really meaning to get some perspex, so after I finish the painting I can clean the board properly, because this palette board is in fact timber, and this would be impossible to get this dried up paint off this timber unless you shave it off with a power tool or whatnot, and that is just unnecessary. Okay. Still really dark, I just added some on to the face. But that actually might be not too bad for the really dark sections of the face that we want to pop in. I'm going to add a bit more skin tone and mix that. Let's see how this goes. Alright, well I'm going to test this out on the face. Okay. So I'm going to test this colour out on the face with, of course, my paintbrush. I'm just going to fill this glass up with some water for when I need to clean it. Okay. Spilled a lot of water on the ground. Alright. That's looking like the same colour. Not too bad. Now I know it's going to be dark around here a bit more. Like so. Now I'm thinking, shall we knock out the eye and restart it? This is a ballsy move, this is a big move. And to be honest with you, I reckon I'm feeling it. And that's the thing with painting, you can always add if it doesn't work out. That's what I can do with this, the eyeliner right now. I can change it, get rid of the black because it doesn't need to be there. I really need to get that eye up. And I hate touching the face because I know it looks really good, but it's what I have to do in order to get it looking better than what it's looking. Alright, you know what? I'm doing it. And it's right because you folks are coming along with me. Wow, this is... I hope this is the right move. I just gotta do it, you know. Okay. The eye is gone. So that happened. Okay. Now, I gotta figure out if I continue the eye now or wait until that dries. And I believe I could just do the eye now. It's not, I didn't put a whole lot of paint on, so it's not thick or anything. I'm just trying to figure out if there's any other dark tones I need to pop in. Not necessarily. So let's try and figure out this eye. Wow. I'm running out of a lot of white. Don't have any white. Let me just clean this. And you know I was talking about the black wasn't needed there, but I'm actually looking at the photo and I believe it does need to be a sense of black because the eyelashes does bring off a touch of black. So what I am going to do get some of this black. Now I am going to pop it around like I did before, and then I'm going to get the skin tone colour, pop it over the black so it's just it's not so intense with black. And it shows it just a little bit, which is exactly what I need. Okay, so playing around. I know I keep forgetting that it doesn't need to be exactly like the photo. And I love paintings that aren't exactly like the photo, but I don't know what it is, but sometimes I just get the urge that I need it to be like perfect. Guess it's a bit of a perfectionist or whatnot, but when it comes to my paintings, or when it comes to paintings just in general, but it's not true because I love abstract paintings. I love just looking at something that's not exactly what it seems. It's not like a photo. It's in people's imagination. I love that. But yes, just sometimes it's hard for me just to get it like that. Yeah, I'm gonna add a bit of white to this. Sorry about that, camera went off. But I was saying there's been plenty of portrait paintings that I've done and they never look complete until, at least on the eyes, they never look complete on the eyes until I do the tiny little white speck of white paint just to give it that reflection of what the person is looking at. Well, it's mainly the reflection of the sun, I believe, shining off the eye. I love that, I love that. Looks amazing, and that looks great, so I'm happy to leave that how it is. I'm going to step back and have a better look at that. Alright, awesome. Reposition that eye that was down here, it's up there. That's looking a lot better than what it was. I think I can move on to brightening up that scarf and really showing that it is a scarf, because I want people to look at this painting and know exactly what that is, or may not, or not know exactly what it is, but have an idea of what they may be. Because right now, whoever looks at it may think that's just part of the hair, but it's not meant to be part of the hair, it's meant to be a scarf. And I really want to make it obvious that it's meant to be a scarf. Alright, well that's what I'm going to work on now, so I'm going to have to mix up another batch of brown for this. I've got some purple there, I'll mix on top of that. Alright, well I've given the painting a little bit to dry. Now I'm going to get on to making this brown scarf colour. I'm going to need a lot of brown. I'm going to make it really bright. So let's figure out how we're going to do this. We want to make it bright. So that means we're going to have to use a lot of bright colours. figure out how do you make brown, I mean, sorry. With that red and blue make a purple. Now we can figure out how you get a brown. How do you get brown? We use a ton of yellow. See if I got any yellows I can mix in right here, just to make it a bit easy. Get a yellow ochre here. Alright, let's see how this brown goes. Now that is bright. It's a nice brown colour. Just gonna go with the hair again because we can always pop that in later. Let's just worry about this scarf for now and worry about the rest a bit later on. I feel, because we want to be able to make the scarf noticeable, and I do know right now it isn't noticeable at all since the scarf dried up from a crack at it yesterday. So I'm just going to get it really, dig it in there, and because it's a painting you can always play around with it, which is terrific. If there's anything that we want to make dark, you can always just pop that in. So it's going to lock it in. And you just get it all in there. And then play around with the details a bit later on. And we are running out of light brown, so I'm going to have to mix up some more. I might even make it more light, more of a light colour, and we'll worry about the dark parts later on. And let it go over our jar, because jar is in the foreground, not in the background. So that's looking alright. As crazy as it looks, a bit random, it doesn't look too bad. I wonder if we can get in some lighter colours before it's too late. Save that here, not there. Let's get some lighter colours mixed in before it all dries up. So let's say need a light here, and a lot lighter here, down here. For sure, let me put some on. Lighter along here. Sorry about that, I knocked the camera with I knocked the tripod with my foot. But what was I saying? Yeah, so I'm gonna go crazy. do something a bit reckless. And let's get some more scarf along here, because you can always add hair over it. I really want to make it look like the scarf is going up here, because it is. I feel like this scarf's going to be an ongoing thing until I finally am happy with how it looks. In the meantime, just going to have to keep getting some more work into it. Now I'm not sure if this looks like a scarf yet or not. Another thing I just realised, I still got to get her lips in as well, so that might be another fun task I can do. Just clean this. I'm going to be honest with you, the camera's already flashing that it's low battery as well, so my apologies if it goes off again. Not saying that matters at all, because I'll just have to recharge it and film again, and you guys won't notice any difference, because it'll be seconds after each other. With me it would be hours, but that's alright. The light sections of the scarf are when the scarf is in the light, so that's why I'm getting the yellow on it, because I really want to enhance. Alrighty folks, so the camera finally ran out of charge, and it actually ran out of storage, so I've had the camera off for an hour or so, cleared out some storage, charged the battery up. But I do know when I was last recording, I was in the middle of speaking and it cut off, and I was just speaking about the light parts of the scarf that I am making yellow, or the sections on the scarf that I am making yellow are in fact meant to be the sections on the scarf that are shown by the light. You know what I mean? So you got the sun coming in, and that is why I want to make it really bright, just so you know that is where the sun is shining, and then the dark sections on the scarf is where it's in the shadows, in the darkness. And that is what I was saying before the camera shut off. And I also, because when I was speaking for a while before I realised the camera wasn't recording. But I did cover some ground. I was saying that I might let this scarf dry up, and I'll hit it again tomorrow, because it is starting, well, it's not starting to get dark, but the sun's coming down, and soon enough the light is going to come up and hit the canvas, and it's going to be way too hard for you folks at home to be able to see what I'm doing, because it's just going to be too bright. So this time of the day is a perfect time just to put down the paintbrush or the palette knife and call it a day and get a start on it tomorrow. But I just wanted to jump back on and tell you that is what I was doing with the scarf. I was making it really bright, brighter than what it is on the reference photos, so you're able to tell that it's not part of the hair, and it's a completely different thing in the painting. And that is about it. I feel like there was something else, but I've forgotten what that is. I've forgotten what I wanted to say, but it's not to worry. If I've forgotten what it was, what I wanted to say, I suppose it wasn't too important, so I'll leave it on that note, and I'll come back tomorrow. I'll come back tomorrow and finish some more. Tomorrow might finish the fireplace, because I know right now it's not completed. I need to get that clean cuts on the fireplace and finish that off. Bit more work on the hair, maybe some more touch-ups on the scarf depending how it looks once it's dried. And I'm going to leave the fingertips for last because that's just what I want to do. And of course I still got to get in these lips. I haven't done the lips yet, so if you think that's the lips, it's not. The lips are still yet to be added, and I might even get to that tomorrow. Don't know if I'm going to do any more to the nose because I'm really happy with how it looks, but time will tell. Might end up wanting to do it, and I guess we'll just have to see. But for now, I'll leave it be and I'll get to it tomorrow. Alrighty, well, see you folks in a couple of seconds. Alrighty, no worries. Alrighty, good day folks. It's been a couple of weeks since I last painted on this painting. I've given myself a big break, mainly probably because I don't want to continue, don't want to do anything that I'm going to regret, but I've given it a big break. I've actually done another painting while I was taking a break from this one, and I filmed it and uploaded the video to YouTube. But while I was doing that painting, if you had seen the video, I didn't take my water with me because it was a plain air. I went out in the sticks in some Australian bush, and then I didn't take any water with me, so while I was out there I wasn't able to clean my brushes as I was painting. So and I said to myself, oh no, I'll clean them when I get home, I'll let future Tom worry about that. But future Tom forgot about that until now, and I got some very dry paintbrushes right here. They're not too bad, I feel like I can still clean them up, so I'm gonna have to get some terps onto these, some methylated spirits, either one, and see if I can clean them, because they're actually, in fact, my favourite paintbrushes, and they were the paintbrushes I was using with this, and I do want to keep the same brushes with this work, remain the same, and it's a bummer. I think I like this one because it was always short, which is good. I actually recently just snapped this one in half to keep it short. I feel like when they're so long, it's just an excessive bit of timber that doesn't really need, and then it feels like a pencil in a way. So yeah, that's that. Alright, well, before I start on the painting, before I get back into it, I'm going to try give these paintbrushes a clean, and then hopefully they'll be alright to continue the rest of this painting. Don't know if I'm going to get it all done today. There's still a fair bit that needs to be done. I need to get the fingers on this jar, this glass jar, and then I need to touch up the fireplace a bit and get the straight edges, because the fireplace doesn't just fade off like that. Need to work more on the hair, and it's a possibility to work on the scarf, but I might even just leave it because it doesn't look too bad, to be honest, and it doesn't look too bad. And then the lips, I still haven't had the lips in. I don't know if I'm going to work anymore on the face, because I really like how the face is looking, and I don't want to do anything that's going to ruin it, because it's been a couple weeks since I last painted. Everything's dry, and I know sometimes when you paint over dry, you're going to have to paint like most of the face, just because you can't really mix it while you're painting, which is what I love. So I might possibly just leave the face, because it is looking really nice, and it's looking like Emma, which is the main thing. It looks like the reference photo, so I might possibly leave that, but obviously I'm still going to have to get some lips in, because right now there's nothing there. It's just, there is something there, but it's not the right colour, it's not the way I want it to look. Alright, so that's that, and that's enough blabbering on for now, I believe, and I'm going to try to get these paint brushes cleaned up, and that shall be it. I already know it is. Alright, I managed to clean it as good as I can. It's not 100%, still bits of clumps here and there, but there's nothing I can do about that, considering I just want to quickly get into this and try to get some done today. So worst case scenario, I'm just going to have to use different paintbrushes, and that's not too bad of a problem. So what I'm going to do is get out my colours and see what I'm going to do to attack this first. Alright, I'm just going to grab my reference photo. I'll be back in a jiffy. Alrighty. Okay, got my reference photo. Just need to get some paints, and then I might start on play around the fireplace maybe. What can I do? These fingers, that's the worst. Man, I'm terrified to do these fingers. I don't want to stuff up this paint. Nah, can't think like that, can you? Just gotta go for it. You just gotta go for it. Well, I believe that's what I'm gonna get done now. Oh, there's the lips. Might get the lips a crack. Right, so I'm doing the lips now. Kind of pinkish, but still got a hint of red in it. Almost like what it is now, but gotta clean it up a little bit. Red. I just thought, imagine doing the lips with the palette knife. Would be pretty unusual, but I think I'm just going to keep it with the paintbrush. I'll mix it up with this. Alright. Alrighty, so I think that's pretty good for the lips. I'll leave that for now, and then I'm going to move on to something else. But just what? What am I going to move on to? I can tell you this right now, I believe I'm going to leave the fingers to last because that's the most thing that I don't really want to do. Nah, it'll be alright. I just got to get into it. I might give it a go actually. Not that much to it, it's just a lot of, because the light is hitting the fingers, so it's really bright, it's almost white, similar to this side of the face, so I might just go for that and get it out of the way. Yeah, might go for that. I'll do it very carefully. I'll mix on the board instead of mixing on the canvas. Okay, I might go for it. Okay. Here goes nothing, I guess. Oh wow. I was just about to say it'd be good if I had some white. And no kidding, in that monstrosity of a paint bag, I found the tiniest little tube of white you can find. Didn't think it was the first one I looked at as well. Didn't think I was going to find that. So that's good. We got some white because we're going to need that. And all the white I have on the table is gone. It's all run out. It's all ran out. Okay. Okay, I know it may look a bit odd right now, but that's the thing. You just have to get your first layer, your second layer, your third. You just got to keep working it until it looks the way you want it to look. So it's going to need a little bit more work. Then we'll get there. these fingers are coming together, still work in progress. But I just had an idea, it might even look decent if I make these fingers just really bulked up with paint, so the textures are really thick, and that way I believe the fingers do look a bit odd. At least they're really different and they've got some intense textures to them, which brings attraction to the painting and makes it interesting to look at, I believe. I feel like that's what I'm going to go for, because I am having troubles with these fingers, but I am still working at them and they are still slowly getting to where they need to be. Alright, I've got to keep working on it though. Alrighty, g'day folks. So we're on the home stretch right now. All I have to do is the hair, and I believe she's finally done. Just got to touch up the hair a bit because the hair on the reference photo, it's really filled in over the scarf and round next to the glass mug and even maybe behind it a little bit. There's a section of white here, which is the shoulder. But so yeah, that's about it. I got the hair to do, and then she's finally done. Yesterday, or a couple of days ago, I was in and I touched up the nose. I know I said that I wasn't going to touch the nose, but then while the camera was off, I don't think the camera was recording. But I was doing a bit of the face, and then I kind of like stuffed up the nose, so like it did something that wasn't looking good. So then I thought, because before I touched it up, it was looking alright. I mean, it was good enough for me. And then I played around with it. I was like, oh god, no, what have I done? So then I had to really work the nose, and I got it to looking like this, and just stoked with how it's looking now. I'm really happy with how the nose is looking. Never really been good at painting noses, but this one, it's definitely been the best nose I've ever painted, so very proud of that. Touched up the lips a bit, and I feel like the lips are fine. I know I'm going to get a black marker on this or a ballpoint pen just to get that fine line, the fine black line to divide the lips, so you know what's the top and bottom. And so yeah, that's all I really have to say. So I guess I can just get straight stuck into the hair, and can actually might be able to finish this thing off today, hopefully. So yeah, alright, no worries. Alright, well, let's get into it. Alrighty folks, she's finally done. I can finally put the palette knives and the paintbrushes to rest and call it for this one. It was a fairly big painting, as in the duration of the painting, the time that was spent in this. It took a while, but it took a while to paint because in each section I painted, I'll wait a couple of days and I'll come back to it. So that's why I took my time with this painting, because I wanted to make it really similar to the reference photo, and I'll pop the reference photo up at the end of the video so you can see the similarities and the challenges I was trying to go through. There was quite a lot of challenges in this painting. There was 3 major challenges: the fingers, the glass jar, and the nose. There was a point in the painting when I was happy with the nose, but then I was fiddling around with the face, changing it, and then I did accidentally change the nose a bit, and it wasn't looking too good, so I had to keep working at the nose, and it was kind of, it was a bit stressful, I'm not gonna lie. But I just kept working at it until I was happy with how it was looking, and I got to this stage and I was very happy with how it looked, so I told myself not to touch it again and move on to something else. Fingers were really hard, but like with the rest of the painting, I just kept working at it until I was happy with the way it was looking, and same with the glass jar. And yeah, the whole painting's gone through a lot of changes, but it's gone through a lot of changes to improve itself, as all paintings do, I guess. Very happy with how it came out. Yeah, very happy. So there's not much else I can say about that other than I'm really excited to move on to a new painting, and now that this is done I can actually do that. But alright, well, there's not much else I can say, so I just want to say, if you've made it through the whole video, give yourself a pat on the back, because you've earned it, my friend. I know it's another long video, but I like to keep it as raw as I can and keep everything in as I'm going throughout the painting and talking about it and whatnot. So I guess if you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a like, and if you've liked it more than that, make sure to give me a subscribe, because it'll mean a lot and also helps a lot. Alrighty, well, catch you folks later. No worries. Cheers.